So you need how much to live off dividends? Hey guys, Brian here. Welcome back to the channel. We are going to jump into how much money you need to have invested to live off dividends. And don't mind the sweat. I just finished working out and I wanted to get this video out to y'all because a lot of people have been asking me, how do I live off dividends? How much money do I need to live off dividends? And honestly, it's a super easy equation. And I'll also show you which ETF that I personally would invest in to live off of dividends. So the amount of money you need to live off dividends depends on a whole bunch of different factors. But to keep it simple, it's all about desired lifestyle, expenses, and the dividend yield of your investments. So for those that don't know, dividends are typically paid out as a percentage of the stock's price. So the income that you receive will depend on the value of the investments and the dividend yield. And let me just go over a very simplified example just to give you an idea. So let's just go over the average cost of living in the United States. And according to Google, it says it is $61,334 a year. So if you're considering dividend stocks with an average yield of around 3.5%, so in knowing the average cost of living in the United States, now you'll have to re-engineer the equation, find out how much money you'll need in the markets. And that is a super easy equation. It is the total cost of living, which is $61,334 divided by 3.5%. And that is going to give you $1,752,400. And to be honest, that is a big chunk of change, but it is also very doable. So this example shows that you'll need that $1.752 million in dividend paying investments with the average yield of 3.5% to generate that $61,000 a year. The ETF that I would personally use when you have that amount of money would be Schd. This is something that I've talked about before on this channel a long time ago, and this is what I would really use because Schd has a dividend yield of 3.55% and has paid $2.60 per share in the past year, and the dividends are paid every 3 months, so every quarter. And in showing you that dividend growth is 7.13%, you could pretty much look at all the dividends over time. It's consistently went up. So the longer you hold this, you'll have a lot of potential to make even more money than what I calculated. And if you guys don't know what Schd is, it is the Schwab US Dividend Equity ETF. So the goal of this fund is to track as closely as possible before fees and expenses the total return of the Dow Jones US Dividend 100 Index. And the expense ratio is super low at 0.06%. So you don't have to worry too much about money being left on the table. And here are the top holdings. Really big companies like Chevron, Merck & Co, Coca-Cola, PepsiCo, UPS, Broadcom, Cisco, Home Depot, AbbVie, and Amgen. Those are just the top ones that you can see there. And even though now you know you need at least $1.75 million invested into Schd with a 3.55% dividend yield, how many shares would you actually need? But obviously, we know how much money we have invested. So if you're going to do it off today's market price of $73.27, let's just round up to 74 to make it even, you would just divide this number by 74 and you would end up with 23,681 shares needed. And that is just at this point in time. So obviously, if you have already Schd and you're trying to grow that holding and you're just investing more and more into Schd or any other stock that's giving you that 3.5%, you don't need this upfront if you're not ready to start taking out money to live off dividends. You could get as close to us as possible, and with the amount of money that you're getting from dividends, if you reinvest them into the stock, they will buy shares for you to get you to where you need to be. But obviously, like what we talked about, $1.7 million is still a lot of money that we need to get to. So obviously, it's going to take a lot of time to get there if you're not a high income earner. So to get to where you need to go, you need to start investing early and often. You need to start some side hustles to make more money. You need to earn more income in general to get to where you want to be to live off dividends. But it's also really important to note that this is just a simplified calculation and it doesn't account for factors such as like taxes, inflation, and market fluctuations. Also, dividend yields can vary significantly between stocks and the stock market and could also be unpredictable. But that's why I would choose something like an ETF like Schd, where they're known to pay out those dividends, and that because their portfolio is a whole bunch of stocks, the Dow 100 top dividend stock, all their eggs aren't in one basket. All your eggs aren't in one basket, just in case if the market started to get really volatile and started to tank. You most likely won't get wrecked off of it while you're still being able to get paid dividends. So now that you know the amount of money that you need to have invested in the market to get that average cost of living of $61,000 a year, you just have to remember that investing is a discipline. You have to do it often, and you have to do it very calculated towards your risk. And obviously it benefits you more when you're younger because you have a longer time horizon to get to where you want to be, where you need to be. And if you're serious about making dividends a cornerstone of your financial strategy, you need to take action. So here's what I would want you to do, or this is what I would tell you to do. You need to educate yourself. You need a deep dive into understanding dividends, different types of stocks, ETFs, and the market in general. Potentially even talk to some professionals, maybe someone that you know that is already financially independent, maybe a financial advisor, and maybe just look through YouTube, find some creators that could educate you without trying to sell you something. Because there are a lot of them out there on YouTube that are just really trying to push their courses and all that. And I'm not about that because I just want to get everyone better with money. And I just personally want to help people make more informed decisions. Educating yourself, consulting with someone that is already in the position that you want to be in. And then you also need to diversify. And the last one is planning for the long term. Dividend income takes a lot of time to build. So you got to be patient and avoid making impulsive decisions. Just because someone is doing some crazy option play that is telling you that, oh, you could 10x your money, or degenning into crypto, and if those type of plays don't fit your personality, I wouldn't do it. You have to find out your type of investment approach and stick to it. And dividends has been a long staple for most of these millionaires and billionaires. So why not start it yourself? You just got to remember that while living off dividends seems very tempting, it does take a lot of time, and you have to approach it very wisely and with a lot of discipline. So if you found this video helpful at all, don't forget to hit that like button and share it with your friends who might be interested in hearing this type of content. And of course, subscribe to this channel because I want to put out a lot more videos like this just to help you guys make more informed decisions about your money. So thanks for watching, guys. Let's keep learning and let's keep investing, and I'll see you guys very soon.